Good evening, people of St. Elizabeth. Father Daniel here with our Wednesday update. So we got two different kinds of updates for you tonight. One is the things that we know, and two are the things that we are less sure of right now. So first, the things that we know. There's three different things that we know. One is that St. Liz continues to be a faithful and generous and loving community, even in this time of being dispersed. I see y'all checking in on each other online. I know that you're calling each other, checking in, and I'm so grateful for that. And I know that your brothers and sisters in Christ are as well. St. Liz also continues to be generous and faithful financially. Given the pandemic, we're certainly not where we had hoped we would be for 2020 so far in regard to our finances. But because y'all continue to be generous, and we've had a significant increase of folks who are giving via Clover, our online giving app, because of that, we're not doing too bad, actually. We're not anywhere close to any kind of an emergency with finances or anything like that. And it's because y'all continue to be generous, so I'm very grateful. If you've still not checked out Clover, I invite you to go to saint-liz.org and scroll down to the Big Blue Give Online app. If you are able to continue with your pledge, I would encourage you to consider giving in that way. It's helpful for your church community as we navigate the pandemic. So again, thank you. We're not where we would like to be financially, but we're doing okay, all things considered, and I'm grateful to y'all for that. Your Bishops Committee voted a couple weeks ago unanimously to continue to pay all of our staff, including our contract workers, as though they were working all of their normal hours. And that's just one example of one of the ways that St. Liz has continued to be generous and faithful to all the different members of our church family. So our nursery staff, bookkeeper, administrator, musicians, myself, and our housekeeping staff all are continuing to be paid as though they were working all of their normal hours. And I'm very grateful to y'all's generosity and to your leadership for making that happen. Okay, second thing that we know is that our elected leaders are beginning to talk about a phased reopen in different ways. Different states are doing different things. We hear sometimes we hear different things. One thing from Washington D.C., one thing from a state or a citywide authority. One of the things that I'll remind us of is that as Episcopalians, we have two sort of branches of authority that we live under. One is the elected leaders of our state, local, and national governments, and two is the authority of the bishop for our diocese. What you can expect is that the Episcopal Diocese of West Texas, and Bishop Reed's guidance in particular, will always be at least as cautious as the governing authorities' recommendations in regards to the pandemic. And it may be that the diocesan recommendations and guidelines are more cautious than the local or statewide authorities. You will not see the reverse happen. So an example of that. So let's just say that that Governor Abbott were to say tonight, hey, you know what? It's all clear. Everything open back up. Go for it. We would still not gather for worship on Sunday morning because we are also under the authority of our bishop, and our bishop has suspended public worship through at least May 15th. So this is just a reminder on how we live and move and have our being as Episcopalians. So as a reminder, you can expect to gather for worship online for Sundays of May 3rd and May 10th at least. Okay. So that's the third thing that we know is that the decisions, all the decisions have been made in terms of worship through May 15th, but not necessarily beyond that right now. As soon as that changes, I will let you know. So again, for Sunday, May 3rd, Sunday, May 10th, you can expect to find worship videos on YouTube and on Facebook. All right, so that's what we know. What we don't know is exactly what's going to happen after May 15th, or that date could get pushed back even further. Yesterday, I was on a phone call with Mike Bassan, a member of the diocesan staff, and some other clergy, and we're beginning conversations to figure out and discern what a faithful and responsible phased reopening of public worship might look like for the different congregations in the Diocese of West Texas. We don't know what that's going to be like yet, or when that will begin. But I want you all to know that that conversation has begun in earnest. What it will probably look like, and I emphasize probably, is that the diocese will issue, after a lot of conversations with different leaders in West Texas, the diocese will issue guidelines, and then would give congregations the option to reopen as they see fit, so long they are at least as cautious as the diocesan guidelines suggest. So that if that means you can reopen for worship, but you have to wear masks or whatever, you could be more cautious than that, but everybody would have to wear a mask. That's just an example of what may happen. Your Bishops Committee and I are meeting this Sunday to begin our own conversations about what a faithful and phased reopen at St. Liz might look like. Again, we don't have a date for when you can expect that to happen because there's just a lot that we don't know, and that's just the reality of where we are right now. People miss each other. I miss y'all. We miss being together. We also want to be responsible, and we want to be careful, and we don't want to be reckless. We want to safeguard the sanctity of human life, and we want to make faithful and responsible decisions as a community of faith. I will continue to give updates on Wednesday and on Sunday morning, and sometimes that means I've got new information, and sometimes I don't. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to say. This may be a part that I get edited out and gets into the blooper reel. Who knows? So again, you can expect that through May 15th, that's a Friday, we will continue to not have public worship of any kind. And I would expect that would continue for a little bit longer, whether by virtue of Bishop Reed's guidance or by virtue of mine and the Bishops Committee's guidance for St. Liz individually. I look forward to being with you again virtually on Sunday morning. I hope you're enjoying our worship videos so far. We got some terrific jokes from some kids in this week that I look forward to sharing with y'all. It's Wednesday evening right now. If you've got kids, if you're out there and you've got jokes, you can still get them to me, but I need them by tomorrow morning because I got a whole bunch of video editing that I got to do, but I haven't gotten to that piece yet, so you're still good. So if you get them to me by tomorrow morning, they can get in there. All right, that's all I've got from this end. Love y'all very much. I hope you're staying safe. Hope you're saying your prayers. I hope you're not going too stir crazy. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. God's peace.